Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time on the Friday Fix. Don't forget to catch Wes and Steve over there at Civil Discourse. And don't forget to catch our new show with Wes, Mike P, Louisiana T. It's called Plays and Parlays. Woo! Moving and grooving, huh?
Moving and grooving, man.
As long as we have rights, we can still keep on moving and grooving.
As long as we got them. I think they're trying to flush them out right now, though.
Yeah, no, they're going to try to take them away, ladies and gentlemen. Trump administration floats suspending habeas corpus. What's that? Stephen Miller, senior advisor to President Trump, was answering questions about illegal immigration. He told reporters May 9th that the Trump administration is actively looking to suspend a constitutional right that allows people to challenge in court their detention. Miller, the White House deputy chief of staff, said the Constitution says the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. Habeas corpus, Latin for you have the body, is used to determine if the government detention of someone in prison is legal, according to Cornell Law School Legal Information Institution. A writ of habeas corpus is used in federal court under civil law to challenge a person's detention, commonly used by people in prison who are challenging the conviction that led to their prison sentence. Miller comments come amid several high-profile cases involving the Trump administration where habeas corpus has become a central issue. The cases have included people without lawful status in the country, as well as international students targeted for their pro-Palestinian advocacy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, basically what this is saying to everybody is that you won't be able to defend yourself in court. If they arrest you for something, it's basically you're just arrested for it. There's no trial. There's nothing that, basically you don't get due process.
Hey, this is what really, really concerns me, because most of you, what you're going to say is, oh, this will just be used for migrants. No, it'll be used for everybody. This is now across the board. So they can come into and arrest whoever. They've already said it basically to where they can come into your home without a warrant, warrantless, coming inside your home. Now they're basically talking about, hey, I can just arrest you. You have no right to defend yourself, and I can just keep you indefinitely. And so, I mean, I'm not sure where this was part of the Constitution or a part of America that you signed up for, but I sure as hell didn't sign up for this as being a part of America. And this is not something this is not America that I recognize. It's not America that I'm willing to deal with. I'm not even going to say live in, because I'm a say, believe that, but I'm not going to deal with what's happening right here. I'm sure a lot of other Americans are going to feel the same exact way. I saw a group of 25 people. I think it was up on the Northeast, basically trying to stop ICE from taking away a mother away from her kids. They were trying to stop her. Like, they arrested a couple of the protesters. Most of these people were women. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that
neighbors.
And once us men need to start standing up and watching what's happening, the women are fighting back. They're willing to do it. But we got to start standing up as well. We got to. Sometimes it may take getting arrested, because pretty soon I think they're going to start probably shooting people.
Well, remember, honestly, they arrested the governor or the mayor of New Jersey.
Yeah,
the other a couple days ago, because he was out there protesting the detention center. Him and a couple of I think a couple senators got arrested.
They already told us, watch what's coming, man. And this is one of the things they're talking about. He basically said, Stephen Miller said, depending on how the judges rule, is if we're going to be pushing forward with this.
Here, let me play the clip for everybody, so you guys can tell we're not just joking. I'm gonna play the clip.
Hold on, there's a question back there first.
I have two quick questions. First, President Trump has talked about potentially suspending habeas corpus to take care of the illegal immigration problem. When could we see that happen, do you think?
Well, the Constitution is clear, and that, of course, is the supreme law of the land, that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So I would say that's an option we're actively looking at. Look, a lot of it depends on whether the courts do the right thing or not. At the end of the day, Congress passed a body of law known as the Immigration and Nationality Act, which stripped Article 3 courts, that's the judicial branch, of jurisdiction over immigration cases. So Congress actually passed, it's called jurisdiction stripping legislation. it passed a number of laws that say that the Article 3 courts aren't even allowed to be involved in immigration cases. Many of you probably don't know this. I'll give you a good example. Are you familiar with the term temporary protected status, or TPS, right? So by statute, the courts are stripped of jurisdiction from overruling a presidential determination or a secretarial determination on TPS when the Secretary of Homeland Security makes that determination. So when Secretary Noem terminated TPS for the illegals that Biden flew into the country, when courts stepped in, they were violating explicit language that Congress had enacted, saying they have no jurisdiction. So it's not just the courts aren't just at war with the executive branch, the courts are at war, these radical rogue judges, with the legislative branch as well, too. So all of that will inform the choices the president ultimately makes, yes.
Mr. Miller.
So, yeah, he told you right there, basically, that it doesn't matter what anyone says. We're going to do what we want because we feel like we have the right to do what we want. And they don't.
And there's always these little laws that they sneak in there and they do this thing. I mean, you know, Wes, I think people aren't understanding what's really happening here. The United States is gone. We're just the United States in name. You need to understand what our world's about to be. Look, they're going to fire we're not even going to cover this story. We'll probably cover it later. They're firing top generals in brass. You know what I'm saying? They're downsizing the government. So only a few people can handle certain criteria and certain businesses and stuff. You need to understand the America you grew up in is going to be gone. There's no coming back from this. There's no, in 4 years, we're going to have a Democratic president and everything's going to turn around. No, the damage, it's not even going to be damage done. It's a restructuring phase that we're in right now. Kind of like when your sports team has to rebuild, but this way we're rebuilding in the face of white supremacy. Full-blown white supremacy. This is what a lot of people don't, you can admit it or not. This is exactly what you voted for. He preached it. He said this was going. And so they're taking the country, going to put it right back into a white nation. First, they got to get rid of all the brown people. If they can't get rid of them, they're going to jail them. They can't. And when they jail them, they're going to hit them with crimes and put them out in labor camps for hard labor. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're going to get stuff out.
They're already doing this.
They're already doing
black people. It's already a thing. It's already been done in this country already. So
now they're going to be able to arrest you without due process. They're going to be able to hold you in a cell. I mean, they already do that to us anyways. I've heard stories of people. They got black dudes in Rikers right now, been in there for 3 years and haven't seen a judge.
You know, I mean, so these things are not far fetched. We're showing you what they're saying.
They're not far, bro. They do it. They do it to black folks all the time. And see, that's one thing people need to understand here in America. You've never done right by the foundational black Americans that helped you win the Civil War and give you this great nation that you have now. And since you've never done right by them and you've let them be harassed, attacked, killed, jailed, abused, now it all comes double back because now everyone gets to feel that effect because you had your chance to stop it. I'm speaking of Democrats. You had your chance to stop it against us and you didn't. Now you have to deal with it against yourselves too.
More than, I'm just at a point right now to where we need to all kind of come together and think about what's happening right now and look at where we're heading. I know you feel like you're winning, but you're not winning. This is not a W. This is basically saying, so the next person who comes along that you may or may not believe in can do this and worse. What they're doing is they're taking bills on the book and they're interpreting them in a way that best suits what their agenda is. These aren't real bills that are saying these things, and this is just what it is. No, they're interpreting these bills this way. It's like anything you interpret as a law. Until you get a ruling, then you have to take it up to the Supreme Court to get an actual ruling that clarifies what this really means. And who do they have in the Supreme Court? They've known this for a while. This has been something that they've coordinated for quite a while. Now, I want you guys to look at what we're going to talk about next. And it's really going to tie in to exactly what's happening here. And everything that we said about, about it being about getting these people out the country and getting us out the country and then turning this into a nation of Europeans, it'll all tie into this next segment.
And also, I want you guys to think about it like this. You can look at it and say, hey, this isn't going to affect me. I ain't got to worry about this. This is for the people I don't like, right? But what happens when they come to your town and they find oil under your city or there's rare minerals under your ground? You think the government will just come take that from you? Why not? A rich guy won't. Think about all them wildfires they set down south. Whole bunch of places never had wildfires. Now they got wildfires because they found all that lithium down there. You know what I'm saying? What if when they come to get your stuff and you try to fight them and they lock you up in jail, then you'll realize what you've done to yourself.
Absolutely.